All right, so let's go ahead and complete this this portion of the project, which is creating the product and storing it inside the database. This should be the last video for this portion of it. All right, so the first thing I want to do is I want to destructure. Well, we know that from the last lecture that we created the product model. Okay, so we have everything set up there. So now this is where we want to continue on, is in the controller. For creating this new product. So what I'm gonna do is let me refresh your memory with, I'm gonna leave these consoles here and I'm gonna go back over here and create a new product because I want to show you something. All right, so I'm gonna upload any image for now. Do New York style, referring to pizza, and then here a taste. I'm just gonna say New York, whatever, just short. $12, and categories pizzas, and then whatever, do 400. All right, so if I submit and I go to the console on the back end, I get all this data here from the back end. All right, so we got the request body, we have the request file and the request user, right? And so what I want you to look at is over here, this portion here, the request file. So this object here gives us information pertaining to the image itself. Now there's only one thing that I want for this image, property wise, from this object, and that is this file name here. Now we get the path also, which it gives us the folder, which it says uploads, and that's right here. If you look to the side, uploads and then the file name. So we could do that, but and then you have destination, which is simply the folder name, but all I need is the file name here. Okay, so this file name is the actual image that's stored inside this uploads. So this file name, the value for the file name is what we're actually going to be storing inside the database. That's it. That's all we need for that image to store inside the database. It's file name. So we can make reference of it later when we need to retrieve it. All right, so that's all I wanted to show you there. So we know that this file has a property called file name. Okay, so that's what I wanted to make sure that you guys understood. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is destructure the incoming data from the file in the body. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is destructure that file name that I was just talking about. So over here, I'm going to do const and do file name, and that's inside the request file, right? This thing right here. All right, and let me delete this right here for now. All right, and the next thing we want to retrieve, pull out the rest of the incoming data from the user, right? That's attached to the request body. Okay, and that is, what do we have there? So let me do request body, and so I know the incoming data is what's the rest of the information? So we got the name, right, which we called it product name. We have the description, and we called it product description. And then the price, so product price. What else? The category, product category, and then the quantity, product quantity. Now mind you, these names I'm not just making up right now. These have to be the exact name that you gave it on the front end when you like made that Axios request and you did the handle submit on the front end. Okay, so make sure that these match with those exact names. Okay, that's where these names are coming from. All right, so now that we took care of that, let's see here. All right, destructure the incoming data from the founder body, import product model. Okay, so over here at the very top, we're gonna import that model that we created from the last video and call it product, and then require, and that is located, we gotta go back one directory and then go into models and then the product. Okay, so right here, mark that off. We imported the product model, and the next thing we want to instantiate a new product object. Okay, well, now that we imported it here, we can make use of it. So inside a try catch block, this gets an error here. I guess I'll set this up for now. Might as well do it right now. Error, and if we get an error, I'm gonna call it, let's see, product controller dot create error. All right, and then here inside the try block, so I want to instantiate a new product, right? So I'm gonna do, or actually I'll let, and then product, I'm gonna do new product, just like that. All right, save that, go back here to notes, so we instantiated a new product, and the next thing we want to do is attach the incoming data from the client onto this newly created product object. So the way we could do that here, or the way I'm going to do it now, is do product, and then the first one is, what was it, file name. Now this right here, these names that follow the product dot whatever is, those are the names that we gave to the product model. So it have to be the exact same names as these over here. So for instance, this first one here is file name. So going back here, I do file name, and then equals, we want it to equal right here. In this case, well, actually this one right here was file name. Was it product? Yeah, file name. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, take that back. Yeah, just undo that. Or this file name right here, okay? And that's file name here, okay? And then the next one is product, and then product name, which again, going product, you see product name, how it's spelled, and then it's spelled the same over here, and then that equals over here this product name here, which is being destructured from the data that's coming from the front end. All right, I know that's confusing because they're spelled exactly the same, but that's the way I did it. All right, so product, and then product description equals the product description, and then product price. Oh no, you gotta put the product in the beginning to precede it, and then product price, and then the next one was product category, and then product category, and then finally the last one was product dot product quantity equals product quantity. All right, and we save that. All right, so attach incoming data, so we took care of that just now. All right, so the next thing is we want to save this new product. So now we have everything ready to save, all right, to make that request to the backend or to the database to save it. All right, so we're gonna do here await, all right, because this is making a request over to a database, so this could take some time. So we're gonna await product dot save. Now save is a method that belongs to Mongoose to save that product, to save it into the database. All right, so let's see, save new product, and then send a response back to the client. Okay, so at this point, if everything goes well, we're going to do a response JSON. I'm going to do success message of actually I'm going to do backticks, and I'm going to do $, because I'm going to use a property here. I'm going to say that the product name was created. Okay, and then the next one is I want to just return the newly created product. Okay, and we're not going to be making use of it and for purposes of the front end. It's just for me to see that it's arriving to the front end and just kind of just know that everything worked. Okay, but this is the main thing that I'm going to need here, the success message, to know that because we're going to be making use of that in the front end to display to the user that everything was successful. All right, so if I save that there, let's see, send response back to the client. Oh, yes. All right, so and we also need to send a response back if there's an error, a server error. So I'm going to do here, I'm going to do response status of 500, which means a server error, and then JSON with error message of please try again later. All right, friendly message there to the front end, to the user. Okay, send response back to the client. All right, so we took care of that. So the next thing is moving on to the front end now is emptying the fields. Okay, so what I mean by that is I'm gonna have to go to our client folder, source components, and inside the admin dashboard component. Let's see here. All right, so I'm gonna collapse a few things here. All right, to make it easier to read. All right, so I want to focus here for the handle product submit. All right, this was a function that was handling the submission of the product. All right, so once we got through all these else if blocks, we got to the else, which started the process of creating the new product. And then here we have our API function that we created called create product. And over here, we got the then and the catch, which at this point here, if we get to the then, the response, it sends, if everything went well, we get a response back. So right below this console log, which I'm just gonna remove that. Okay, I said I want to empty all the fields. So the way I'm going to do that is we're going to do set, what was it called? Set product data. All right. And set product data is an object here. And that is over here. That's set product data, right? At the very beginning, we set the default values to these empty strings and null. So what I can do is I can just pretty much copy all this right here, and just because I'm going to be resetting everything. If everything goes well, I want to reset empty out all the input fields and also the product image to make it null. Okay, so I copy all that and come back down here for set product data and paste that in right inside there. All right, just like that. And I save that. And so let's see, empty fields. Yes. All right, and next thing is display success message. All right, so that is that back to the admin dashboard. So right after we empty all the fields, we're going to do set success message. And it's going to be coming from right here. We get access to the response. So we're going to do response data and then success message. All right, the success message is the same name as what I gave it on the back end right over here. Remember the response JSON success message. So it has to be the same, spelled the same way. Okay, so going back to the dashboard, just like that, and save. So we took care of that. Displaying the success message. And then finally, the same thing, but for the error message, if we get an error. So going back to the admin dashboard, over here inside the catch block, right below the console log, I'm going to do set error message. And then inside we get this error right here object. So we're going to do error response data. And then what do we call that property in the back end? We called it error message. Error message. Save that. And let me just show you what I'm talking about. So this error message, again, this is the back end, the controller right here. You see? We call it error message, and this displays a please try again. All right, so that is it. Now I should have. Okay, so now actually let me do testing. Let me mark this. Let's do a final thing here and test this thing out. All right, so wait, make sure I did save everything. All right, save this file here and the admin dashboard, save that. Okay, and you know what? I am going to need to open up our MongoDB. MongoDB. Here, the database, right? Because we need to actually see that this data, this new product was actually stored inside the database. All right, so here I'm gonna go to collections. Right, and over here under test, I'm gonna go to, I'm gonna delete this here. All right, so right now all we have is currently we have just the categories and users. That's it. That's all we have right now. So let's go ahead. Yeah, so now let's go ahead and test this, because once we create this new product, we should get a new collection here that's going to be called products. Okay, that's how we know that it worked, and then we're going to get all that product data inside of it, that collection as well. Okay, so we got that. All right, so let's go ahead and add a new product. Let me close this up, clear up all the network fields, because I will be making use of that too, and also the network, the console. All right, let me close this somewhere. All right, so here let's upload an image. All right, I know this is not a real food item, but later on we will. It's just because to test that the image is uploading. So we're gonna use that image, and the first thing I'm gonna do a New York style pizza, and the best pizza in the US. All right, and then the price, I'm gonna do a price of $13. The category, okay, let me refresh this again, start over. Okay, there we go. All right, so let me start over again. All right, the image, New York style pizza. Actually, let's do pineapple. Let's do pineapple. A pineapple in your pizza. Price 13. The category, it's pizzas, so we choose pizzas. How much quantity do we have want in our inventory? Let's say we order, 900. And then if I submit And mind you, let me make sure this database is set. All right, so remember, product doesn't exist here, doesn't exist currently in our database. So let's go back here. Let me check console. Okay, so now let's submit this. Okay. Oh, and by the way, this is a good sign, because did you see all these fields cleared here? Well, that's because, again, remember we cleared it we set it up so we can clear all the data once everything was successful, right? All right, and here, let's see, under the network, let's see here, the product, let's see the headers, we get a 200, and this was all the data we sent to the back end, and then the response we're going to get from the back end, look, we get a success message with pineapple was created. And here's a better view of it. So success pineapple was created, and we get the product right here. You see the file name, the data was created, all the information. So that's good. All right, now going back to the back end. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so that's that. So now, but this is the most important, is to check that the database actually has this new product added to it. So if I'm gonna refresh right here, refresh this database, and look over here now. Now we get the products. So if I click on that, now we have one product inside of it, and that was a product that we just finished adding, right? That we submitted, right? The file name right here, and the product name, the pineapple new pizza, the price, category, quantity, and here I want to show you the product category. Remember that the product category, this is the unique ID of that category, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at these last five values here, 568A4, 568A4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look inside my categories and make sure that it matches the categories, right? It was under pizzas, so it should match that, right? So what's the ID for the categories for pizzas? It matches exactly what we just saw. There you go, 568A4. You see, it doesn't match any of the other IDs. So that's good. All right, so everything's working. We have taken care of creating categories and new products. All right, so that is it for now, and I'll see you in the next lecture.